Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris and I help people find their center. In this video, we're continuing to talk about the elements. Today's video is for airbenders and the air element. People with the primary energy of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And if you've seen the other videos in the series, I'm doing this based off of a couple of things. Polarity Therapy by Dr. Stone, Psychological Types by Carl Jung, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. So, Dr. Stone invented a modality called Polarity Therapy, which combined Ayurveda, Yoga, Reiki, Reflexology, and Chinese Medicine, and he saw that if there was a disruption of life force or chi in the body, that's what caused disease. And Carl Jung saw that the four elements manifested themselves not just in our birth chart, which is part of it, our sun, moon, and rising is part of it, but the whole of our birth chart, the whole aspect of ourselves, the whole aspect of our personality is manifested and expressed through one dominant element, which is based on the four elements of nature: earth, air, fire, and water. And in Avatar: The Last Airbender, airbenders are about freedom. Airbenders are about intellect, detachment from the body, detachment from the world. And these all link up. So the air element is linked to the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the air element. So people who have a primary air element personality are more thinkers. They're more able to rise above things. Their philosophy is, I think. So air is people with an airy element, airy personality. Their voice might be light. Their voice might be detached, flat, and emotionless. They may talk of ideas. And air element people may rise above conflict. They may avoid it by stepping out of it or seeing abstract thought. It's the opposite of the earth element, which looks for concrete ideas. The air element is very comfortable with talking about abstract ideas. It's very comfortable with, the thinking mind. The air element is also linked to the plane of the mental plane. It's linked to the Akashic records. And people with the air element are actually out of touch with their emotions. They detach from emotions. So air is, communicative, rational, civilized. It's the only sign, it's the only element in which all of the signs that are associated with it don't have any sort of animal representation to it. So what that means is that man has developed the capacity for thinking. We've spent the last couple of 100 years in the thinking age. Look at all the technology that we have. We have the capacity for, more technology and more things than our counterparts animals have. And Carl Jung saw the air element, like I said, as the thinking type, as the I think, therefore I am. And air is the second fastest of the elements next to fire. And you want to nurture your air element because it helps your heart chakra. We're moving in from a space of 3D to 4D, which is the air element, the element of detachment, the element of detaching from the personality, which is linked to the 3D matrix. So by rising above that and detaching and recognizing that the air element is the element of change, it's the element of freedom. And how do you know if your air element is out of balance? Too much of the element means that you can't make connections between ideas. Well, you have a hard time, you're too much in your head and you're not taking action. you're unmotivated by achievement, you're physically inactive, you have to sit and think for a while before, you respond to things, and I'm talking like a while. You're sitting here pondering. Too little means you have a weak nervous system, easily upset. Change is difficult for you to handle. So the air element is about change. The air element is about moving. And it's quick. It's floats above things. It could be abstract, it can be spacey. And back to polarity therapy, Dr. Stone saw the zodiac signs represented in the physical body. So the air triad, the 3 air elements are, you've got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Gemini is in the shoulders, represented in the shoulders. Libra is represented by the kidneys, and Aquarius is represented by the ankles. So if you're primarily an air element or an air bender personality type, you may have more proneness to stuff with the kidneys. You may feel tired. You may feel, you may have broken ankles. You may have swollen ankles. You may have a lot of shoulder pain. If you've got some grief going on, this chakra deals with grief. This chakra and element is love, and it's blocked by grief. So if you're having any grief, when I was a massage therapist, I saw a lot of people come in with heart pain. I saw a lot of heartache, I should say. The first person I ever worked on when I was in the student clinic, one of his sons died, and he would always come in talking about shoulder pain. He would always come in talking about, some low back pain, and in the low back, in the area of the kidneys. So in order to work through the air element, the energy has to move and flow, and you have to deal with love. You have to come back to the place of neutrality, or at least positivity, and come back to love, because that's what the air element is about. It's about non-attachment. It's about using the mind in conjunction with the rest of the being, in conjunction with using our fire to drive us. That's our willpower. That's our passion. Thought in the heart chakra, thought with the passion of moving forward. The water is about sustenance. It's about feeling emotionally attached to the passion, to the idea. And the earth element is about moving practically. It's about moving your ideas and your vision practically in balance with the other elements. So again, the air element, airbenders, I think it's linked to the heart chakra, it's linked to movement, it's linked to change. So in order to balance this element, you're going to want to detach from ideas that are no longer serving you. Detach from your personality. As Dr. Joe Dispenza says, your personal reality creates your personal reality. So by using the element of air and detaching from that, detaching from which no longer serves you, you can get to the center of your consciousness, which is your heart chakra. It's also linked, like I said, to the Akashic records. So developing a vision by going up into the mountains, which is the higher altitude, which is where the air element thrives, is rising above things. And by focusing, by grounding your energy, sometimes if you're too much in your head and you're not taking action, you need to ground your energy and work with your shadow aspect element, which is earth in this case, if you're an air type. The element that you primarily express is your light side. It's the one that you're aware of. And the opposite is the one that you suppress. It's the anima and the animus. So the one that you express, your dominant element in this case would be air. The element that you need to counterbalance it with, which is your anima, is earth. So by coming into balance with all of that, by grounding your energy, by, like I said, aligning and working on your shoulders, kidneys, and your ankles, barley water is super good for anybody who has kidney troubles. depending if you don't, this is not for people who are sensitive to celiac and wheat and stuff like that. So you can boil some barley if you don't have an allergy to wheat. This is not for you. Boil some barley, get some pearled barley, you boil it, you take the water from the barley and you drink the barley water, and that will help to tonify your kidneys. Tonify means strengthen, and that's how you can, that's like the battery pack. That'll give you energy, that'll give you more vitality, and you'll step into the frequency of love. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Like I said, detach, connect as well to your heart, connect to your passion, which is fire. Feel it with your water element and ground it into the physical with your earth element. Peace and namaste.